Okay, hi everyone. My name is Abby Segura and I work at the Office of Study Abroad and Global Engagement. Short, we're SAGE. So we're very happy to have you joining us today, and this is our second day of our virtual expo. Thank you for joining our Peace Corps info session, and thank you to Thomas for joining us. Just a few reminders, this session is being recorded. We will let you know once the recordings are posted on our website so that you could go back and review this information, or if you want to share it with someone who couldn't attend. Also, this Friday, we will be sending you a short survey where we would really appreciate if you could give us some feedback. And everybody joining us today will be entered into our daily giveaway. So by the end of the day, we'll announce who the winner is. And then you could come to our office and pick up your prize. So with that, I'll hand it over to Thomas, and I'll keep an eye on the chat box too. Okay, Thomas?
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to connect with you all and share some information about Peace Corps. So my name is Thomas Badilla. I use pronouns he, él. I work as a diversity recruiter in Long Beach, and I had the honor and privilege to serve as a Peace Corps volunteer from 2017 to 2019 in the beautiful land of Zambia. I am your local recruiter, so if you are interested in joining the Peace Corps, please let me know. I will be more than happy to answer your questions, share Peace Corps stories, and support you throughout the application process. All right, so let's get started. Peace Corps is a federal agency which was founded in 1961 by John F. Kennedy. So for 60 years, we have sent qualified US citizens abroad to serve in communities for 2 years and 3 months. Our mission is very simple: to promote world peace and friendship through community-based development. We also have 3 goals that we are constantly aiming to fulfill. The first one is to help the people of interested countries in meeting their need for trained individuals. The second goal is to help promote a better understanding of Americans on the part of the people served. And the third goal is to help promote a better understanding of other peoples on the part of Americans. So we actually work in 63 countries. So we do have a lot of options. As you can see on this slide, we have 6 sectors. We have education, which is the largest sector, community economic development, youth and development, agriculture, health, and environment. We actually send volunteers for 2 years and 3 months. Volunteers live in communities, especially in rural communities. Right now, it's important to keep in mind that because of the pandemic, we are not sending volunteers abroad. Hopefully, we're going to resume operations next year. If you want to learn more about the job openings that we have, you can visit our website, peacecorps.gov, because every job opening has a different potential departure date. And there are 2 different ways to apply. So the first one is to apply directly to one specific job position. Let's say community economic development volunteer in Peru, or health extension agent in Senegal, right? So you can apply directly to specific job openings, or you can just say, send me anywhere. And then our placement team would find the perfect fit for you according to your skill set, background, language, and intercultural competencies. So now I want to talk a little bit about benefits during and after serving. So during service, everything is going to be covered by Peace Corps. So we provide a living stipend. Housing is going to be provided as well. It really depends on the host country. Some volunteers live in brick houses. Some volunteers live in, bigger towns where they usually have electricity, running water. But again, it really depends on the post. Medical and dental coverage, fantastic health insurance. You can defer your student loans for 2 years, so you can definitely put on hold your loans. Vacation time, volunteers get 48 days of vacation time. So you can either come here to the US to visit family and friends, or you can visit neighboring countries, as I did. I had the opportunity to visit Malawi, Senegal, and South Africa, and I had so much fun. Career skills and training, we have top-notch trainings as it relates to technical issues, technical aspects, but also medical safety and security, and what have you. Also language trainings, because volunteers learn a local language during their service. So again, everything is going to be covered by Peace Corps once you become a volunteer. Then after finishing your service, we provide what we call the Readjustment Allowance. So we provide from $8,000 to $10,000 in transition funds, graduate school benefits, and I'm going to talk about this later on, but we have more than 200 programs available for returned volunteers, professional networking and career services. I always say that Peace Corps is a family, and it's also a phenomenal professional network to have. We are pretty much all over the place. We are in the federal government, state government, private sector, nonprofit world, you name it. And it's so wonderful and beneficial to have a strong professional network. Federal employment advantages as well. If you're interested in working for the federal government, we provide wonderful opportunities as well. Public service loan forgiveness for volunteers who keep working for the federal government, and then access to affordable health insurance for 1 month after finishing your service. And then this is the Coverdell Fellowship Program. As I mentioned, we have more than 200 programs available for returned volunteers. And institutions cover from 25 to 100% tuition. We partner with very prestigious universities across the US. So you have a lot of options. For instance, one of my colleagues, she's getting a master's in environmental management at the University of South Florida, and she only pays $600 per semester for grad school, which is a good deal. I also have a friend who goes to ASU, and she's just there for free. So again, we have a lot of wonderful opportunities, especially if you want to further your education and such. This is a screenshot from our website. As I mentioned, we currently have job openings with different potential departure dates, right? So here you can see some job openings with mid-2022 departure dates. Again, it really varies because every country has different, issues and challenges related to the pandemic, right? And it's up to them to tell us when they're ready to receive volunteers. But just keep in mind that we are accepting applications on a rolling basis. So where is Zambia? Zambia is actually in Southern Africa. I served in Zambia from 2017 to 2019. And actually, when I got my invitation to serve in Zambia, I didn't know Zambia was a country. So I had to Google it. And when I learned that it was in Africa, I was like, yes, sign me up. And I accepted, and I had a phenomenal experience. It really changed my life professionally and personally. I had the opportunity to live in a Bemba tribe in Northern Province. So on the top right, you can see my beautiful brick house that I miss a lot. As you can see, I had very basic living conditions. I didn't have running water, no electricity, therefore I couldn't binge watch Netflix. So that was difficult. It was really challenging, but I had the opportunity to connect with community members, and I was very connected to nature. As you can see, I was pretty much, living in a very simple house, very simple living conditions. I would have to fetch water every day, and especially during dry season, I would have to bike to the closest river and wash my clothes by hand. Again, every volunteer has different living conditions, but in general, we live and work in rural areas. Then on the top right, you can see one of my host dad's fish ponds. So every day I would have the opportunity to experience this beautiful view every single day. So I do miss just, being outdoors every day and just feeling connected with nature. And then on the bottom, you can see my phenomenal host family. I couldn't have done it without their help. They were absolutely phenomenal. And actually, this picture was taken the day I left Ngulula village. It was really, really difficult to say goodbye, but I'm happy to say that I'm still in contact with them. And this is my house. This was my house from the inside. So on the top left, you can see my kitchen. I had a filter to, of course, filter water because I would have to, fetch water from the river. So every volunteer would have a filter. As you can see here, I had like a small kitchen table to cook and what have you. And then on the bottom left, you can see my living room. On the bottom right, you can see my Peace Corps bike, because that would be the only way I could just get to places. So I biked a lot during service. Sometimes it would take me like 1 hour to get to the closest market in order to buy groceries and food. So it was really, really awesome to just bike and exercise every day. So I miss that a lot. And then on the top right, you can see a very strange device that I used to just get a phone coverage, because as I mentioned, I didn't have great phone service, so it would be challenging to stay connected with friends and family members. But every time I would go, every week, I would go to the district / market to get a better phone connection and call my family and friends. So as I mentioned, I was an agriculture volunteer, and my primary goal was to promote fish farming along with community leaders. So on the top right, you can see my amazing friend and colleague, Precious Daka. She actually works for the Department of Fisheries, and she was my mentor, my coach, my counterpart, and my friend. I learned so much from her. Actually, she was the expert. So every time I had questions about fish farming and what have you, she would be there to support me. And then on the left, you can see some community members harvesting a fish pond. And then on the bottom right, you can see my host dad and my friend Melvin working on their fish ponds. And these pictures, I really, really like them because here you can see my friend and colleague Bamayo. She is a rock star. She is a phenomenal fish farmer in Ngulula village. And actually this day she invited me to one of her fish pond harvests. And we had so much fun. As you can see, they got a lot of fish. They actually made a lot of money, and actually they were able to send their kids to school by the end of the year. So it was a very successful project, and they still have like 7 fish ponds, so they're doing really, really well. I also had the opportunity to work with the Peace Corps Zambia Malaria Committee, so I ended up doing a lot of health work, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot about malaria prevention and what have you, so I collaborated with different Peace Corps volunteers in different provinces. And I also had the opportunity to collaborate with different counterparts, doctors, nurses, who were really interested in tackling malaria, which is a parasite that kills a lot of people in Zambia. And then HIV/AIDS prevention, I also collaborated with the local school and with the clinic. So we implemented a lot of sex education programs. So actually, this was a workshop that we held for 3 days, and I had the support of my wonderful counterpart, Frederick and Bamayo, and they were pretty much leading all the sessions and providing information as it relates to HIV/AIDS prevention. And I was there pretty much, supporting them and working behind the scenes. But students really enjoyed this because it's a very particular curriculum that Peace Corps has in partnership with GRS. And they actually have this curriculum, and they include a lot of activities, and they actually include sports in order to teach sex education and HIV/AIDS. So it was really, really awesome to connect with the teachers and community workers as well. As I mentioned, I had the opportunity to enjoy vacation days, which was absolutely awesome. I traveled a lot in Zambia. I visited a lot of Peace Corps colleagues. I collaborated with them as well in different projects as it relates to malaria prevention and fish farming. I also went to different national parks. On the left, you can see some pictures from South Luangwa National Park. It's one of the best national parks in Africa to do safaris. And it was just mind blowing to see elephants and giraffes and, you know, lions eating buffaloes. So it was really, really mind blowing. I had so much fun with my friends. And on the top, right, you can see my friends and I doing some white water rafting at the Zambezi River. I also had the opportunity to go to South Africa for 2 weeks with my Peace Corps friends, and we went to Cape Town for 1 week, and we also went to this awesome music festival in Tankwa-Karoo National Park. We had a blast. It was just so wonderful to explore the city and meet people from different countries. So as I mentioned, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna be able to travel, and just, you know, reconnect with friends and people. Again, if you want to come to the US and see your family and friends, you can do it. Just keep in mind that you have to afford all of this, right? So just keep in mind that it's good to have some savings before you join the Peace Corps so you can enjoy yourself as well. So that was pretty much my Peace Corps service in a nutshell. Peace Corps is a very complex job position. It's a very complex experience, and I can talk about Peace Corps for hours, but I do want to have some time to answer your questions. So feel free to put them in the chat box, or you can just unmute yourself. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for sharing. I had a question. So I'm sorry, I kind of missed it when you said this, but you don't necessarily get to choose where you're going when you apply. You get options sent out to you. And also, this program is a 2-year minimum, correct?
Yes, yes, correct. So 2 years and 3 months. So 3 months of training, we call it pre-service training, and you would attend trainings in country. And then right before you know, you finish your training and such, you would be sworn in, and then you would move to your project site to live in that community and work with community leaders for 2 years. Then as it relates to selecting a post/program, we have 2 different ways. So option 1, you can apply directly to a job position. Let's say community economic development volunteer in Colombia, right? So you can apply directly to that program, or if you're just willing to serve anywhere, you can just apply to serve where needed most, and then our placement team would find the perfect fit for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I see one question here also in the chat box. So right now we don't have virtual opportunities. Right now, as I mentioned, we are not sending volunteers abroad, but we still have Peace Corps staff in country. Actually, the majority of the staff that works in country are host country nationals. They are locals, so we are still working with them, and they are working with their communities and keeping them informed about, you know, updates as it relates to, you know, resuming operations and what have you. So if you wanted to begin your Peace Corps service next year, I would recommend applying this year. But again, everything is pretty much up in the air because of the pandemic, but we hope to resume operations next year.
And I know you touched briefly on kind of one thing, which was the loan help after you serve your time. So does that mean that let's say like I apply right after, I'm a senior now, so I graduate this year if everything goes right, and I apply for this upcoming year or the year after, my loans get put on pause, but you're saying they're also, the Peace Corps helps pay some of those or give grants or?
Yeah, so that's the loan forgiveness program that the federal government has. but you would have to work for the federal government for 10 years in order to have access to that opportunity, right? So a lot of volunteers have student loans during service. So all of those student loans would be put on hold. And then once you finish your service, you would have to start, to make payments again, right? But a lot of volunteers end up working for the federal government, and now when people work for the government for 10 years, then they can apply for the loan forgiveness program. But those are two separate programs.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Wonderful. Any other questions? All right, so I don't think we have, oh, we got something here. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Yeah. No worries. Thank you, Abigail. But yeah, well, actually, we still have like 10 minutes. So if you wanna, ask questions as it relates to living conditions or, Peace Corps benefits and such, please feel free to put them in the chat box or just unmute yourself.
Sorry, I had one more question.
Yeah.
Is this program, do we have to pay to be a part of this, or because it's like volunteer service, everything's covered? It's just we're paying with our time.
Everything is going to be covered.
Okay.
Yeah. So Peace Corps would pay for everything. We provide a monthly stipend. Flight tickets are going to be covered. Amazing health insurance, and of course, a lot of trainings and professional development opportunities. But yeah, once you become a volunteer, everything is going to be covered. Now, if you want to travel and come back to the US or visit neighboring countries, you would have to afford that. So that's why I always encourage people to have savings, so you can also do fun stuff during service. Like I did, I went to different countries and traveled with my friends on vacation. So yeah, it's always nice to have some savings during service.
I actually had a question too.
Of course.
I wanted to know if is there like a certain time frame for the applications?
Actually, we don't have deadlines right now, so we are accepting applications on a rolling basis.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right, actually, I'm gonna share in the chat box a link. Let me see, it's right here, so you can sign up for more information. Let's see. I plan to go to medical school, hopefully. So after serving in the Peace Corps, can it help me pay for a medical school? That's a really good question. So actually, a lot of volunteers go to med school after serving. Actually, we have a recording of this event. It was really, really great, where we had 3-4 panelists, returned Peace Corps volunteers who are actually in med school right now. So I'm gonna send you this recording. You can put your email in the chat box so that I can send this resource. Right now, we don't have, I don't think we have programs. I don't think we have partnerships with medical schools, but I do know that a lot of volunteers, a lot of returned volunteers, I know a lot of them have said that, doing Peace Corps definitely helped them a lot to become very, very competitive for grad school. Also, people do, public health programs. We have programs at Johns Hopkins University. So that could be also an option. But yeah, I'm gonna send you this recording, which is really, really helpful, and they just share their experience and how Peace Corps definitely helped them to get to med school. So I would be more than happy to share that resource with you.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi. I'm just joining on because Abby is going into her next session, so we're kind of helping support each other's sessions. I did want to add for Fatima, her question that even though what you were saying to us about student or Peace Corps not necessarily having a specific support for medical school, there are institutions that have created pathways for returned volunteers. So you may find some results if you search specific institutions to find out if they have a program support for return, specifically for returned Peace Corps volunteers, because that is something that a lot of universities provide as a resource to returned volunteers. This might take a little digging, but I did a just kind of a quick search, and Tulane University has one, Emory University, another one that came up. These are the two big universities that kind of came up, recognizable universities that came up in just an initial search. So.
Wonderful, thank you so much for sharing. And I actually found the recording for the panel discussion. It's called the Panel Discussion, Medical School After Peace Corps. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna put my email in the chat box. Let's see. Yeah, right on. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to answer your questions and support you throughout the application process. I can also look over your resume, motivation statement, and provide feedback and guidance. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. And again, if you need any kind of support, just let me know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hi.